If you're on YouTube right now, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes. And drop a like and a comment. Thank you. Miss Jasmine, thank you for coming in second time around.
Yes.
Today we're going to be a little bit more focused on, let me put my glass on here, the Chateau Rouge.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's
okay.
absolutely correct.
So we're going to dive into that. But before we jump into it, I want to talk about kind of how this vision came about. Backstory, I remember when this property hit the market. What year was that? Do you
Probably
know?
like 2017.
So when this property hit the market, agent listed it, and the place was a mess. You can tell that somebody had a big vision, a big life, and they did it well at that time. But this place was deteriorated. It was past its former glory. And what did you see in the place?
So at the time, I was a licensed realtor that I went, and a good friend of mine asked me to show him the property. So I showed him and his family the property. And as we were walking out the front door, it was like this vision just hit me. And I told him, I said, if you don't buy this property, I'm going to buy it. And so I gave him a week, and I followed up with him, and I said, hey, what are you guys thinking? Are y'all going to buy it, or what are you thinking? And he said, no, I think we're going to pass on it. I said, okay, no problem. So I put in an offer, did some negotiations on it, and acquired it and started the renovations. But what I saw was just what I see today, what it is today.
Well, let's paint the picture of what it was when you first saw the vision. I may misremember some things, but correct me when I get off base. So this was a large single-family home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the square footage. Was there a tennis court on it at one point?
Yeah.
So large property on the Bayou with a tennis court. And would you call it an indoor pool, or would you just call it, is it an indoor pool, or is it like a pool that had a covering over it?
A pool that had a covering over it.
The pool wasn't in the best of shape at all at the time. The house wasn't in the best of shape at all. The grounds were very deteriorated. I think there's a lot of cracks in the tennis court that was out there. But it was on a beautiful location of the Bayou.
It was.
Really, really nice views once you cleaned up around it. So when you showed the property to your friend and you had that vision hit you of what it could be today, has that been a vision that you've had for a long time of creating something like that? Or is this just something that just smacked you upside the head and said, I think we could do this?
I think it just smacked me upside the head and I was like, let's do this. I saw a beautiful piece of property that needed just a little TLC. And I thought this would be something, it initially was like, even just an event space, just sharing this with the city of Monroe was what I ultimately looked at it as. It was never supposed to be a rental home or anything like that. Like I never envisioned it to be that. I always envisioned it to be a place used to serve the public in some capacity.
So you purchased the property.
Yeah.
Now the process begins.
Yes.
Now at this point, you are not naive to what investor life is like of rehabbing properties. Were there any surprises along the way on this one that kind of a little bit of a head scratcher?
Yeah. The walls, the inside walls are cinder block. It's so, trying to widen it a little and going through, as an investor, we buy a single family home. We go in, floors, your standard, floors, walls, roof, plumbing, electrical. You come on out. No, with this one, it was a little bit more. And then having to go through the fire marshal, and then having to go through
a lot more complex at that point.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like,
a lot more rules to follow.
A lot more rules, a lot more check marks I had to get, and actually just elevated my education on development, and I started really understanding another level of development by doing this project.
Well, when how long from start to finish did you get the? Did you do the project in stages where you opened up? So we're going to do this as phase one, and or did you do it all at once before you opened?
You know, I wish I would have done it in phases, but I'm one of those that just let's
Want it
do
right?
it.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and knock it out while I'm here. Let's do it because my thought is always once I'm done with it, I'm ready to pass it off. But with this, I could not ever pass it off. I always had to stay involved in some capacity. And I even went through a phase where I just shut it down completely because title work was picking up. My real estate transaction company was just picking up, and I just could not allocate the mental capacity to deal with that and this. And so,
So when you flip the switch that says, you know what, I'm getting all back into it. We're going to do it all right
yeah.
now. How did you get to that point to where you were able to allocate the time needed to be able to do everything and do everything well? Because that's one thing I will say about you. When you get involved in something, I don't typically, well, not typically, I've never seen you do anything halfway. I mean, when you jump into it, you're jumping in with both feet. You know, before you opened your title company, you and I had lots of
Yeah.
conversations, and most of it revolved around if you're going to do it, you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
So, what was that switch you flipped of saying, man, I just can't do both at the same time, to like, you know what, I'm doing it?
Um, so I started to notice the trend in the market, and I started realizing that the trend for with my title company was slowing down tremendously. And I still had this big piece of property that I just needed to do something with. I had to do something. And so finally I said, okay, I've tried it as different things, but I'm going to try giving it my all. And so I shut my title company down and moved my office to the Rouge and decided I'm going all in. And if it fails, it's going to fail because I did the best I could.
Right. So, music. Tell me what music means to Jasmine.
Music means everything to me. And as I started building out this thing, when we started opening as a bar and lounge, I'd gone through so much to get it to that point. Um, Many people see an end product, but they have no idea
What it took to
of
get there.
what it took.
Mm.
The process to even become a bar and lounge took me 3 years. And now that I would do a little bit at a time. I needed a three part compartment sink. I needed things to get it structured for ATC, the health department. Once again, that backside of development that I was not familiar with. So it took me forever to really do that. But as I started making the decision to close down here, I started really. I had so much. I had already done so much little things that when my mind said go, it was like okay. And within 30 days, I had all my licenses lined up, and I mean, it was like all right, let's do this.
From a musical standpoint,
Oh, music. That's what you asked me.
I did, but let me kind of preface it a little bit different. And I don't know if there's more focus on music now in Northeast Louisiana than what once was, but it's like the whole music vibe in this area, all cultures, is really on a huge wave running through.
Yes.
So from everybody promoting the music trail and everything, but where do you see music going in Northeast Louisiana?
Okay, before I answer that, that's what you're asking me. When I turned it into a bar and lounge, I had to figure out what would be that one thing that would bring people to my space. Because you could go anywhere. We have done a really good job of enhancing the nightlife here in Monroe. It's so many different little avenues that you could go. Before, 5-10 years ago, it wasn't near as many
Right.
options, but now there are. And so I had to figure out what would be that one thing that I could do to make people want to come out here. And live music was it. Live music, I partnered with Mark Taylor and the Taylor Made Band. And I mean, I was like, hey, let's just see what this looks like. And when we would bring him in, he would rock the house. And I started realizing that's my diamond, and let's cultivate that. And as I started doing that, I started realizing, wait, I want more bands here. I want to give people more opportunities to just, hey, you want to come in? Last night, for example, Josh Love was supposed to perform, and he had double booked. So I was like, hey, why don't we just push it to next week? But I stayed open. This guy pulls up like singing straight out of Purple Rain, pulls up on his motorcycle, guitar strapped to his back, and he's like, I'm just looking to plug in and jam. And I have speakers all over, like the stage stays set. So he literally pulled up, came in, plugged in, and jammed out by himself to the crowd for an hour. And that was just like that's what I want. That's what I created. A place where live music lives not only at Chateau Rouge, but it really lives inside of each and every one of us.
It does. I mean, from the standpoint of music, and I'll have to just say something about my wife. Our kids are going to grow up with such a wide, eclectic range of music.
Yeah.
From the 90s, the 2000s, even the old gospel hymns and
Yes.
Elvis playing. I mean, everything. My wife has got a very wide spectrum when it comes to music. But I see in my kids that music oftentimes brings out conversation. It brings out confidence at that point. My kids are very artistic in the things that they do, and they're always wanting to listen to music while they're doing the stuff that they're doing.
It's therapy.
It is.
It really is. And actually, that's what the guy said last night. He said, hey, I'm from Atlanta. I moved back here because I'm taking care of my mom, and just playing is just therapy for me. But music is really therapy for each and every one of us. When we're happy, our music reflects that. We're putting on songs that just encourage that happy mood. When we're sad, we're putting on songs
Sure.
that match that mood. Whatever we're feeling, we always have a song that we go to just comfort us in that feeling. And so I started realizing that, live music not only lives here at the Rouge, but that's what my brand is about now. Live music lives here,
Yeah.
not just there, but it lives here in your body, here inside of each and every one of us. And at first I said it's a movement, but it's not just a movement. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. But also, to me, music, when I'm in a place where music is being played, it's interacting within the musician, with the music, but it also in a group, it enhances conversation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it brings people together.
Yeah. So I think about our karaoke with the Taylor Made Band, and we just open the mic up, and people come and they have such a great time. And it's different because usually when you do karaoke, you do it with a recording, a pre-recorded song. But to have the band actually playing, I mean, it makes you feel like you're an artist.
Yeah.
Like, you get up there and I'm singing so off key and terrible, but I'm singing my heart out to this song that I'm feeling in that moment. And it just really gives you a whole different vibe, a whole different experience.
Now, do you guys have a website set up to where people can go and kind of see what events that you guys have planned, or who's singing this weekend, or a Facebook page?
Absolutely. So our Facebook page is really, really active, and where you would go to first with Chateau Rouge on the Bayou. It's our Facebook page. And then our website, chateaurouge320.com, is where you would go for our book tour, our boat tours and things of that nature.
Let's talk about boat tours. So, to my knowledge, since the Twin City Queen sank in Monroe, we have not had any consistent ability to have boat tours of our beautiful waterways. I think at one point there was another boat on the river that would do some stuff, but it was nothing really consistent that you feel that you could book. But you give boat tours on beautiful Bayou Desert I think it's just in the summer months, correct?
Yes.
So tell us about that. My wife and I keep saying we're going to take the girls out on it.
Yeah, y'all
and,
have to.
And we just haven't yet. But tell us about that, because I think it's really cool. We're always looking for family fun things to be able to do, and not everybody wants to go and buy a boat to make that happen. But you've
No.
already got the boat.
Yeah.
So tell us how people can sign up for that and what that tour looks like.
So, based off of where we are on the Bayou, it's a 30-minute ride up to the college. It takes you up behind ULM Alumni Center. And sometimes it's even pretty cool to catch the alumni ski team. I mean, the ULM ski team out there.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
pretty cool practicing. And it gives a totally different perspective of the city. So it's 30 minutes up and back. And, we just let them, if it goes over, fine. We just like people to have the exposure and the experience, because that's what it's all about. I bought it with the thought of, hey, somebody took me on a boat and I like this. And we need to be able to have this same experience here in Monroe. I mean, every time I talk to Mayor Ellis, I'm like, can somebody please, the Chateau River, we need to be exploring these things and really just like, this is what it's about. People need to see this side of the city beyond just the roadways.
No, I agree 100%. When we have people relocating into the area, I try to schedule a day to do a community tour. I mean, I feel like our area has everything to offer a big city does. In some cases, more. You just need to know where to look to be able to find some of the stuff.
I say that all the time. And New Orleans, people love New Orleans. I am not a person that loves New Orleans. Like, if I have to go, I go. But as far as saying, oh man, this is going to be a great trip, I prefer Monroe. I prefer to be able to get wherever I need to get to within 10 minutes.
Right.
I have the same abilities to go to a nice zoo, to get on the boat, to do the things, go to the nightlife. All of that I'm looking for in New Orleans. I mean, except some concerts maybe. Most of that is right here in Monroe. We have done a great job of enhancing the quality of life. And I started looking around, Brian, and realizing that 5-10 years ago, maybe I just wasn't aware of it, but the entrepreneurship life has just enhanced.
Oh,
People
100%.
are
It's not
just like, hey, we're going all in. I want my community to be better. I think I can provide that service. I'm going to do it. And I encourage the public to embrace us and to support the small local businesses, because we are spending our last dollar sometimes to keep this service available to you. But all in all, it's all to help our lifestyle here. Before, I understood when people said it was nothing to do in Monroe. But now, any given day, any given time, there are times
Always something.
It's always something from West Monroe. There are times we shut down. I'll go to Enoch's and just hang out there. There are times that, hey, I'm bouncing around too, just because there's so much going on here. And if we start supporting these businesses, these entities, man, we'll continue to thrive and grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we're ever going to be a Dallas, Texas.
No,
nor do we want to be.
I don't want to be that.
But to be able to have great jobs,
Yeah,
to be able to have a great family life and things to do outside of work, I mean, that's where it's at. Both mayors on either side of the river recognize that if you don't have a good quality of life, you're not going to be able to attract the business that you want. You're not going to attract the people that you want. So both of them have done a fantastic job of focusing on that, but also at the same time supporting the local business owners who are trying to make that happen.
Yeah.
If people are driving up down the main streets, they would never know your business is there. You're tucked off out of the main.
I am.
Not very far off, but
No.
just off the beaten path. But I think that's what makes your place unique.
It is. And that's actually what I love about it. Unfortunately, I am not in the everyday flow until the Kansas Lane extension opens. But that is the beautiful side of things. That a place that used to cause me so much headache during the renovations has become a place of peace for me. It has become a place that I get up and I get to go here
Sure.
and work out of this space all the time. And I just kind of got to a space in my mind where I said, well, if people want to work with me, they'll come find me. And this is where I am. This is where I'm located all the time, unless I'm in court or I'm out doing things with the city. But this is where I'm located. This is where I work my best. This is where I thrive my best. And I get to just be the best version of me right here at this location.
And you get to share it with all
And
those.
I get to share it with the world, with the city, with the parish. I get to share it with everybody.
Yeah. So here's my encouragement to you, or to those that are listening: give it a try.
Why not?
And one of the things that I can say about your business that I can't say about every business, you got something for everyone.
Everybody.
You've got a side of the business that it's not going to be okay to bring kids into,
Yeah.
right? But you got a side of the business that it's okay to bring kids
Absolutely.
to with it. So you've got a great thing going. I think you're a little hidden gem in our community. I love the music lives here, slogan that you're running with. I think it's fantastic, and I just want to encourage people to go give you a shot. Just check it out.
Come see us.
So what's the Facebook page?
Chateau Rouge on the Bayou is the Facebook page. The website is chateaurouge320.com.
Live music. You've got events that you host out there, special
Absolutely.
events, and you got boat tours that are out there that people can book. And it's affordable. It's not like you're going to sit there and drop a huge chunk of money.
No.
It's very affordable to take your family out on a Sunday
Absolutely.
afternoon, Saturday. I don't know the hours of operation, but that everybody can book online.
You
correct?
can book your time online.
Yeah, so you're sitting there at 9 o'clock at night. Oh man, I forgot to do something. Set it up. You can get online. You can get it booked.
There you go.
Jasmine, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for investing in our community, and wish you guys the best.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate this. And, this is what it's about with even just small business owners. Because as I started thinking about who do I need to tap into, who can I collaborate with to help spread my message and work hand in hand. And that's what we do. We support each other. We've always done that. And I think that's what makes our community so beautiful.
I agree.
We've gotten out of that. You stay over here, I stay over here. No, more and more we're working hand in hand because that's the only way we can survive.
And for those who don't see that aspect of us working hand to hand, give me or you a call and let us introduce you to some more people that can show you how together we can achieve more.
I could tell you some stories. So,
I'm sure you could.
Thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a partner.
Yeah.
Because just as I'm invested in you, you're invested in me because together we succeed and we make this community a beautiful place to live in.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to watch or listen to this podcast. We really appreciate your involvement. Please leave us a comment, or even better yet, subscribe to this podcast and hit that notification bell so that you can be alerted for every new episode when it hits.